Let us look at one other problem, and in this problem we are supposed to create a library management system, and we are supposed to add and delete as well as display the books. So let's look at how we can create this particular application. So first of all, I'm going to go to the file, new, and I'm going to create a new project, and I'm going to choose an empty project. You can give any information. I'm going to say library management system, and then I'm going to add a new page to my solution by right clicking on it and then adding the new item and then selecting the web page. So where is that web page gone? I think I have selected a wrong, okay, a web page. So we have the web page. I'll call this as home page. Entire application will be running on this one. So let's go ahead and let's complete the project. Now here we have many things, and I'm going to go for multi-view. So select this multi-view. So you have this multi-view. So let's put this multi-view in the list here. So we have this multi-view. So if you look at the code over here, just look at the code. So you have this multi-view. Inside this multi-view, you are supposed to put the other items. So you must be a bit careful about what you are doing. So inside this, you are supposed to put views there. So you can put many views here. Now if you're not able to put directly over here, you can drag it and just put it over here. So if you notice there, you try to drag it at wrong place, it will the ASP.NET will not allow you to do so. So what I've done is I have put it in a split view. Usually you are working on design view, so I'm going to split view and then I am doing it. So most of the time you will have the problem. So when you try to drag it, you see to it that this view is inside the multi-view. So that's very much required. So this is something that you must always take care. And then you need a table. So I kept it here, and then you can go and insert a table. Now if you look at here, you also have a table. You can drag that table and leave it here. So this is also possible, not that it is not possible. You can drag it. Now if you look at here, you are in the view 1. So when in the design view, if you look at here, you have to ensure that you are in the view 1, not elsewhere. Suppose if you are elsewhere and then you try to put it, you will have problems. So this is view 1. So ensure that you are in the view 1. Then let's try to insert a table, the general way how you are going to insert a table. So insert a table with say 2 rows and maybe 3 columns. So just click OK and you have the table. Now if you go to the view here, you notice that you are inside this table is inside that view. So that you must be extremely careful about this. If you are not doing it, then you won't get it in the right way. So this is inside the view, and that view is inside this multi-view. So if I go over here, and this is my first table, so I am going to give some title GFGC, not here, sorry. So I'm going to go to this place and I'm going to say GFGC library. You can give any name. And on this one, the other one, you notice that it has come here. If you go over here, GFGC library has come here. And here I'm going to put 3 buttons. So I'm going to drag one button after the other. So I'm going to drag the first button over here. So the first button will come here in the first column, second button will have to come here, and the third button will come to the next one. So we are here in the second one. I will just to make it appear proper, just drag it down so that I have my first button here. So you can notice I have my first button, and the second column I am going to put the second button, and you notice that the second button will come here, and the last button that I'm going to use, I will just drag it here so that it appears properly, and then I am going to put the third button. So I have my third button put at the proper place. So I have these three buttons. I'm going to zoom it out for you just to show you that the things are appearing properly. Definitely you can go for alignment and so on and so forth. I am not doing it because you during the examination you may not like to do all those things, but if you get the time, you would go for formatting, which is much easier. Let's go to the properties here, and the property that the first one is to add, next one is to display, and the last one is to delete. So I'm going to go with the add button here. The second button, I am going to go to the properties, and then I'm going to change the text of that button. Remember, I'm changing the text of the button, and I'm going to say display all, or display, and the last button that I'm going to use is this one. I'll go to the properties of that button, and I'm going to say that this is to delete. Okay, so that's it. You're going to have three buttons over here, and when you click on the three buttons, you are supposed to do something. Okay, so let's add the other view. So I have only the first view here. Now if as for your viewing, what I'm going to do is I will minimize this. If you click on this plus button over here, it will minimize that view. So you can minimize the table also. Plus to minimize it, minus to expand it. So I have the view here. So this is my first view, and the second view will come here. So this is my first view. Now the second view, this is one view. So start from ASP view and slash ASP view. This is one view. Your second view has to come next to it. So I'm going to drag it here to ensure that the things are there at the right place. If you try to pull a view inside the other view, say remember, you can't have view inside a view. Multi-view can contain number of views. A view itself cannot contain one other view. So be careful about that one. Okay, so let me try to go here, and let me try to put one other view. So where is the HIJK view? So I'll drag this view. Now remember, this view is this is already one view which is there inside the multi view. So I'm going to just minimize it. This is one view. My second view has to come here. So I'm going to drag it and then place the second view here. So this is one view, then you have the two views. So this is the first view, this will be the second view. Already first view is there with all the tables and all those things that I have done, and this is my second view, and anything I'm going to do will come in this area. Okay, what is that I am supposed to do? Okay, I am supposed to I am supposed to put a insert option, and what we have here is a table with a lot of things over here. So let's try to do that thing. So I am going to go and I am going to click on this. If you notice over here, this is view 2. So be extremely careful. You are inside the view 2. So whenever you are trying to do something, you are inside a view, not elsewhere. If you try to do it elsewhere, the whole thing will not work. So let me put a table with a few things. So I'm going to put a table. Okay, I'm going to put a table over here, with 2 rows and 2 columns. Let me click OK to insert that table. Now you can notice that table over here. I'm going to say add new book first, and then I'm going to put the details of the book. Let's say what are the things that we are supposed to do. First one, we need accession number. So accession number, I'm going to get that thing. So accession number, that's the first thing. Then I need something. Let me put a text box in front of it. So I have a text box in front of it, and then I'm going to put a tab. You know very well, in order to get something, I'm going to go for the design view, and I'm going to put a tab here. And the second one that I'm supposed to do is the author. So I'm going to put a author and then drag a text box. These are all a simple thing. Click outside and then press tab. You get the next row automatically. Then go for the next one, that is the title of the book. So I have the title of the book. Drag the text box and then press tab. Go for the next one, and then that is going to be the publication. So I have the publication, okay, and then one more text box in front of it, and then press tab, and I have the volume and edition. So these are the things that you have. So volume and volume, okay, and one more text box, and finally the edition. So that's all you need to do. So you get this one. I need a button there. So I need 2 buttons there. One is to go to the home page, and the other one is to save. So let me put that thing. I'm going to put 2 buttons there. So one button, I'm going to go, this will take me to the home, and the other button will actually insert the table, that is save the content. So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to say go to home page, go to home, and let me make it as HS capital, go to home, and this button I'm going to go and say properties, and I'm going to say save. So I'm only changing the text of the content. I'm not changing anything. So it is the text of the button that is being changed. Now once I add the label, once I save it, I have to show the content in a label. So I put a tab after this, so I get one more row, and just press tab when you are at the last column, and automatically one new row is inserted. So it is same as how you are doing it in Microsoft Word. The same thing is going to work. So I have a label here that's going to show me when the contents are added. So now the thing is, when I click on this save button, I am supposed to save the content. So when I double click on it, I'm going to double click on this save button. I am supposed to save the content. So how do I save it? I need a database. So I'll go to my project, right click on it, and say add a new item. So it is as usual, you are adding a new item. There's nothing new here, okay. Then search for the data and SQL database. I'm not going to change the name of the database. Just click on save and just click on yes, and the database is added, okay. And if you have problem, just watch the previous video where I told you how to start the services. Open the, right click on the database and then open the database. You don't have the table, okay. Right click and say add new table. You can give any name to the table. So what are the things that we require? One is the accession number. Accession number, remember, do not put the spaces for the thing. Accession number. Now this is a number, so I'm going to take it as int. You can take it anything. Then I think author was there, and then I have the varchar, then I have the title, let me put varchar, I need marketing varchar, okay, title, say if you want you can change the numbers there, then I think I have few things there. What are the things I have here? Title, publication, volume and edition. Okay, publication, let me go to the publication, again publication varchar, then edition. If you want to change the edition, you can change it to something else. I am going to stick on to the varchar here. If you want you can change it. Okay, there is nothing that just a minute prevents you from changing it. And volume, I will keep everything because I know that during the examination you may not be in a position to do a lot of things. Okay, so that's it. You have I think almost everything. I have the accession number, author, title, volume, publication volume, and then so on and so forth. So that's all you need to do, and let me save it. If you have the other version, you will find the table name. Let me save it. When I try to save this, I'm going to get a message saying, asking me to save it. I'm going to just give the name of the table as books. You can give any name to your table. It's up to you. Just click OK. The book is saved. There is nothing is there in this book. So now we need to go back to our project, and when I double click on this button, that is the save button, I'm supposed to save the content. So how do I save the content? In order for that I need a data source in my project. So let's go to the ASPX and let me put a data source. I'm going to put it here. Somewhere you can put it, anywhere you can put it, because it's not going to show up. So just click at the bottom side, go to the toolbox, and under this toolbox and go to the data. So under the data section, so go to the data section, you will find SQL data source. So find the SQL data source. Okay, keep the cursor at right place, go to the toolbox, find the SQL data source, double click on it. That's it you need to do, and then you need to configure it. So click on this data source. So it is going to be data source 1. Click on this one, then say configure data source. Then go and search for the database. So you have the database.mdf. Go next, and you're not doing anything. You have the entire book. Okay, go next. You are not doing anything. If you want, you test the query. It's not really required, but just to see that the connection is being established, that's all you need to do. Finish it off. Your database part is over. Now let's go to the server explorer here. Again, if the server explorer is not visible, go to the view, and then under view you will find the server explorer. So go to this view and then go to the server explorer. So you find both of them there. Let's right click and then say new query. So I'm going to go for a new query. Right click on your table and go for a new query, and you will get the query. So go to the new query and just add this book. You will get this book. So see to it that this book is added. Okay, so go and say add, and then once you have added the book, so once you have added the book, close it by clicking close. Okay, then very important thing, go here and change the query type. So go here and change the query type. So go here and change the query type, and see to it that you are inserting the values. So change the type and then say insert values. So this is required. So go here and then say insert values, and then come to this place, start adding the values. I start with the accession number. Accession number, these are sample values I am adding. Again, I am not adding the values, I am just doing a building the query here. So you notice that it is building the query one after the other. So then I need the author, say author, say title, say publication, ABC publication. Okay, that is enough. ABC is enough. Then edition is 1, volume is 1, whatever it is, volume is 1. You can put anything there. Now remember, I have taken varchar here. When you take the varchar, it should come under quotes, so that you must remember that. If you have anything in the varchar, the content must be enclosed in single quote. That is required. This is as far as the database requirement. Now you have your entire query being generated over here. So you can notice that query. I'm going to just format it. I'm going to get it in single line, and when you get it in single line, extremely careful. The spaces are really required. You don't join the books after books. So this is the name of the table. Then a space is required. If you forget to do that, your query will not work. See, this volume and a space is required. So extremely careful. Some of you don't put the space there. If you combine them like this, then values and the volume and this is joined, the query will not work. So put the space, make it proper, then copy this whole content. It is required. Control C to copy this whole thing. Go to the place where you are working with. So this is a place where you are supposed to do something. So what is that you are supposed to do? I'm going to say SQL data source 1, and I'm inserting it. So it is insert command. So insert command, and sorry about that. Again, Visual Studio is not helping me with this one. So insert command, come in between the double quotes. Control V to space it, add the content. See to it that you don't have extra spaces between the two double quotes. Some of you are doing that thing, so ensure that everything is proper. Now coming to the first one. So first one is the first text box, that is the volume. So how do you do that? So select the content, that is the data, two double quotes, come in between, two plus sign, and then you have to go with the text boxes. So this is going to be the text box. Just a minute. Text box 1 dot text. Okay, I will zoom out because you know very well it is annoying. So this is the first text box. Then remember, whenever you are using the text, there is the double quotes. Do not touch the single quotes. So this single quote is there surrounding your data. Just select the content. Don't touch the single quotes, because if you touch that, your query will not work. So I'm going to zoom out because it is not allowing me to show the content. So the two double quotes, I will zoom out to a normal level. So I hope you'll be able to see that thing. Then come in between. So two double quotes, and you notice that surrounded by two single quote. That this single quote is also, it is not allowing me to select this single quote and this single quote. It is required. In between you have two double quotes, two plus sign, and Visual Studio is dying. Okay, so then I have the text box 2 dot text. Okay, so I'm doing it in a normal way because so this is what you have it. Again, select this whole thing. Do not select the single quote. Two double quotes, come in between, two plus sign, come in between. This is the text box that you are supposed to add. So text box 3 dot text. So you have the text box. Do the same thing for remaining. Remember, whenever you have the varchar, this is the single quotes are required. So two double quotes. I'll zoom it out and do go ahead. 2 plus sign inside. Then I have the text box 4 dot text. Again same thing. Select this one. Two double quotes, come in between, 2 plus sign. Then you have the text box. The next text box number 5 dot text. You have it there, and then you have the last one, that is two double quotes, come in between, 2 plus sign, then in between text box, the last text box dot text. So that's all you need to do. When you do it, you don't have any squiggly red line underlines here. If you do it, it is proper. If it is not, you are not doing it properly. So that is a very important thing. Once it is done, you have to just say SQL data source 1 dot insert command. Remember, insert command is over. Now insert method has to be called. This is the method. If you notice, if the Visual Studio is not jumping here and there, you can just notice that this is a method, and then you have to put it in single quote. Okay, so that's it you need to do. Now I have to tell the user that the record has been inserted. So I have the label 1. So label 1 dot text equal to record is saved. That's all. Now that is going to be a message to the user. Now how do I reach to this? Now if you run this particular project, you will see only the first part, that is index 0 is shown by default. So index 0 will come and nothing is going to show up there. So how to view the content? Now something has to be shown up there. So where is the content? Now if you don't see anything or nothing is coming there, don't worry about it. You can fix these problems. Let me stop that thing and go to the empty place on your project. Empty place, anywhere you can go. Right click and say view code. That's all. Okay, and you have the page load. On page load, you just say you have this multi-view one dot, what is the index that I am going to go here, active index, make it as 0. So when the page is loading, show the first one. If it is not showing, okay, just run it. I think it must be able to show the content to me if everything is proper. Okay, so if you are not able to see it, see what does this method do. Remember, when the page is loading, there is an event. The page, as the page loads, this method is called. Okay, so this method is a method that is called first. Whenever the page gets loaded onto your browser, this method is called, and here you are just saying that active index is 1. That's all. When the page is loaded, I want the first index that you know very well. I want this piece to be shown first. That is a view 1 has to be shown. Remember, view 1 is the name that you have given, but you know in most of the programming language the index starts from 0. That's the first index. Now let's go to the page here, and I want to, when I click on this one, I want to go to the add part. So double click on this button here, that is add button, and you don't need to do anything. You can copy paste that thing, but I'll try my level best to show that thing if the Visual Studio allows me to do that. So view 1 dot active index is 1. The I'm sorry about that. So this is not my fault, it is Visual Studio. So active index is 1. This is the first one that is being shown. When you click on the add button, the second view will be shown. So there are two views are there. This is the first view. So when the page loads, this view with the index 0 is shown. When you click on this button, view with the index 1 will be shown. So that's simple as that. Let's give it a try. So I have the page being loaded. Let me click on add, and I have the books. Book number 101. The accession number, I think that's accession number. Author is someone. Book is C programming. Oracle. But oops, I think I saved it. Sorry about that. I saved the content. Let me try again. And then publication is this. I will complete this one. Oracle programming. Okay. Then the publication is ABC publisher. Volume number is 1, edition number is 2, something. And I click on save. Everything should go, and it is coming back. And why? Okay, did I clicked on the save button? Let me stop that, and let's see what did I do. I click on this save, and it should have saved it. Let me check the database just to see whether it is saving or not. So show the data, and what you notice there is nothing is saved. Okay, it is saved, but I don't know, somehow it came back to the first page. That's weird. If I say 102 and something, and if I save it, it is just coming back to the, so if I save it, it just comes back to the page 1. Okay, but it has saved. So the record has been saved, and if you look at if you run this query again, you will find that record is saved. Okay, but it is coming back. I don't know, that's a very weird thing that it has done. So it should have stopped there. Okay, I think that is the problem of the browser, that it just loads the page 1. Now the problem is when this page is saved, the problem there is when this page is saved, the page gets actually loaded. So if when I click on this save, if you notice there, if you carefully notice, I'm going to just change the number 3 and say rather, and say C++ programming, and A B C D E publisher, and this is the thing. Now when I try to save it, you notice that this page gets loaded. So that's the problem. This page gets loaded. When this page gets loaded, actually what happens is I have given a, what is this, on page load, I have given that you have to show the index 0. So that see, on page load, what I've done here is on page load, I said that the page is getting loaded, then you have to show the index 0. So because of this I am in trouble. So how do I get rid of this kind of problem? So if I do that, I am in trouble. If I don't do it, I don't see the content. So the solution for this is you can go to the home page, go to the multi-view, okay, and then go to the properties of this view, and see, this is multi-view. I have clicked on this multi-view, and in the multi-view, go to the properties, and in the properties you say this active index is -1 is there, just make it as 0. The reason why it has to be done is otherwise every time the page gets loaded for some or other reason, what's going to happen is it will load the page 0. So that's it. So you go back here and on page load, remove it. So if you put that thing, what will happen is every time the page loads, it's going to create a problem. So here I am removing that multi view active index 1, I am removing it, and in the original page multi-view I am going to put it as 0. Now let me try it this time. So I'm going to run it, a fresh one. So let's go ahead and let's do that thing. So add it 103, okay, say Reka, okay, Reka is there, say DBMS publication ABCD, okay, volume 1 author edition 2, save it, and it should come save. Okay, so it is coming now to save it. Okay, next thing that you need to do is when you click on this home button, you are supposed to go back. So let's go and let's save that thing, and let's go here. When I click on this go to home page, very simple, you have to go back to the first page. So double click on this, go to home page, and then just the same, I'm going to do it here only, this part, multi-view. So this is multi-view, active index is 0. So that's it. So with this the things are completed. Now let's go and let's do the other part. And what is the other part? Then the other part that I'm supposed to do is I'm supposed to display all the books in the library. So let me go ahead and do that thing. I'm going to go here to my page, and I will split view here. Again I'm doing it because I don't want to end up in trouble. Now again you notice here, this is the previous view. I'm going to just minimize, and I'm going to show you the content. There are two views are there. So this is the first view, this is the second view, the third view will come here. Okay, so must be careful. So then I'm going to drag the view. So careful with what you're doing. So this is really very, see, I have dragged it at a wrong place. Just pull me here, and then that's all I need to do. So I am there, this is the third view that's going to come. Okay, and in between you are going to do your work. So view 1, view 2, any mistake in putting the views, you will end up in much bigger trouble. So let's put this view here, and straight away I have the view here. Where is the view? Now if you don't know, just type something here and come to here, and you will notice this is the place where you are here. Okay, type something in between the view, not somewhere in between the view, and then you will notice you are here. Okay, so this is a place where I am supposed to do it, and you can notice this is the view, this is the view that I am supposed to do something. I am going to insert a table here also, table with 3 rows and 1 column. That's all. Click OK, and now onwards I'm going to just put the content here. Okay, details of books, that's all, and books. Okay, let's put the grid view here. So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to put the grid view. So go to toolbox. So this is to pin it, and that other one is to unpin it. If you pin it, it's not going to go inside. So let's go here, and I'm supposed to drag the grid view to this place. So just get the grid view here, and then I need the data source for the grid view. So I have the grid view here, and then I drag the grid view. So this is the one that I have dragged. So that's the grid view that I am dragging, and click here and go and select the data source. I have the SQL data source 1, that's the one that I have it. Okay, SQL data source 1 is already there with me, and if you want you can configure the whole thing. If you really want to do that thing, all the columns will be there, and if you test the query, I think I have 3 records there, and that's all. Finish it off. Okay, or else you can start from the beginning, it's up to you. You can go here and then say new data source and do it. It's one and the same because I already have the data source and I can do it. So select the data source and then configure it. At any time you can configure it. So configure it, select the database, next, and you can finish it off. You can test the query and then you can finish it off, and that's it. I have everything with me, and now I need to go to this view. So when I click on the display button, so when I click on this display button right at the view 1, I have to go to this place, as well as I need a go to home page, a button there. So I'm going to drag a button. Okay, and this button I'm going to give the property as go to home page. Go to home page. Oops, go to home. Okay, that's all. So there is one button. When I click on it, I change the properties, that is the text property of that button. When I click on this button, I want to go back. So let me double click on it, and it's the same thing, index 0 to take me to the home page, index 0 to take me to the home page. So this is the button. When I click on this button, I am going back to the index view 1. So that's as simple as that. And now let me go to this one. When I click on this display button, I have to go to view number 3. So this is the index 0, this is the index 1, this will be the index 2 that I am supposed to go. So double click on this display button, and I will not type it because it is already there. If you want you can type it, so there's nothing wrong. Multi-view dot active index is 2. So that's all you need to do. Run it, and you will notice that things are working fine. So if you click on add, you will go to the add. If you go back, you go to the home page. If you click on display, all the records are displayed. If you click on home page, you are back to the first page. Last part is the delete part. Let's go ahead and let's do that part. So I'm going to just stop this one, and I'm going to go to the home page, and I am going to go for the last one. Again I will go to the split view, and the reason I am doing it is, you know very well, you make a mistake in this, you will land up in much bigger trouble. So let's look at what we have. Look at the first one. You have multi views. Inside that you have the first view, you have the second view. I'm going to click on this here. You notice that the minus sign is there. If you click on minus, it's going to become plus and it's going to contract, and if you click on the plus, it is going to expand. So let me click on this to make the space for me, and that is view 1, view 2, view 3, and my next view has to come after the view. So view slash view, view slash view, view slash view. So remember that, and then you have the next view. So bit careful with that. So let me drag the view here, and that is my last view that's going to come. This is the view number 4, that's going to come. Now where is it? How is it going to appear? Just click here and type some garbage here, so that that acts as a placeholder for you. So when you go to the design view, you really don't know where is that thing. So just type something here in between the view, so you know that this is a place where the things has to come. So let me go to the design view here. Okay, in the design view, go down, and this is the place. You see that why did I type that garbage is, so this is the place where the things are going to come. So as simple as that. What is that I'm supposed to do? So let's look at this is again from Sarika. So let's look at what she has done. So she has one table here with something. So you have the text here and some content over here. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's do that part. So I'm going to insert a table here. I'm just going to delete this one, so delete it, and then I'm going to go to the table, insert a table, as simple as that. Again, you are inserting a table, insert table, and then I need one column and maybe 4 rows or 5 rows, maybe 5 rows will be okay. Click OK, and that is it. You have everything there. Let's start typing. Okay, delete unused books. Okay, that's it. And I'm going to say please select a book. Please select a book, and then I'm going to put a drop down here. So let's go and let's put a drop down. So I have this drop down. You can keep the cursor here and double click on it. It's going to come there. Now this has to get connected to something. So let me choose the data source for the unbound one. So choose the data source and select the source, SQL data source 1. You have it there. So this is the thing that you're going to get. So then I'm just zooming in and select the SQL data source, and then select SQL data source 1. Is it showing? If it is not showing, let me go and let me create a new data source. Select the SQL data source. If it is not showing up, then go for the other way around. So database, as usual, connection string is there. Click next. You need a lot of things. I need only accession number. Actually, I need only accession number. You can go for it. And if you get confused, just select everything. But I need only accession number. So select accession number. That's all. You are familiar. For those who are familiar with the query, I need only accession number. That's it. Okay. I don't need anything else. Click next. Test it. I need only the accession number 101, 102, 103. That's the only one that need to be bound. Finish it off. Okay, and bound is accession number. Bound is accession number. Click OK, and that's it. So if you so this is done. Okay. Next part is I need a view. And what is that view I'm going to do? I'm going to go for this form view. So there you have a grid view. Most of you are familiar with that grid view. There is one other view called as form view. So get the form view. So get the form view. Keep the cursor here. Double click on this form view, and it's going to come there, form view. And you need a data source. So let's go and let's create a data source. So I will do it. I will not select something. Let's select a data source, new data source, and SQL database. It's simple. It's not complicated. Click OK. Select the connection string which is already there. So you have the connection string which was created last time. Click next. What you need? You need everything. Okay, that's good. What is the condition? Where the condition is, you go here and then say accession number is from the control. Remember, from the control. So what I have done here is the source is control, so that has to be there. So you have selected the source as control. Okay, and what is the control? Control is that drop down list. So you have this drop down list here, that is it. Okay, and so what you are doing is, what data has to be shown? Accession number must be equal to whatever that you are selecting from the drop down list. As simple as that. And very important thing, just add this one, add it, click OK, go next, and then test the query. Accession number 101 must be there, click OK, and you must be able to see the record. Okay, that's it, finish it off. Done with this. Okay, done. And let me put a button, and when I click on that button, I am supposed to delete the record. So I'll put a button here, and what is the button? So click, drag a button, or you can keep the cursor and double click on it, it's one and the same. So let me change the text of this one, and the text that I'm going to type here is delete this book. Whatever you write, that will be okay. So delete this book, double click on this one, and when I click on that delete this book, I am supposed to delete it. So how do I delete it? Again, the actions are very simple. You go to the Solution Explorer, right click on the database, open it. It's going to open up the Server Explorer. Go to this book, right click on it, and then say new query. Add this book, add it, close it, change the query type. So change the query type for delete. So change the query type for delete. So very important, because I want the delete command to come. So change it to delete. What is that I want to delete? I want to delete where accession number is 101. So column number, delete what is it? Okay, accession number, table is book, and filter is 101. Will it be able to work? I can delete it. I think I can write that whole query on my own, rather than trying to get the thing. Okay, so this is as simple as that. Delete from books where accession number is 101. So simple as that. I think all of you are familiar with this kind of queries, which is not something which is very great or something of that type. So I have this query. Now in order for me to run that query, I need a data source. So let's go here to my ASPX, and in this ASPX I need a data source. Already I have the data sources, many data sources are there, but I need a data source. So let's drag a data source, as simple as that. Already I have a data source. If you notice that I have the data source 1, it's already there. I can reuse that. Nobody is preventing me from reusing it. I'm going to use that. If you want, you just drag one more data source. It's not going to make any difference, because all of them are getting connected. So I'm going to go and I'm going to use SQL data source 1. Remember, that's the first one. What is this first one? If you notice this data source 1, where you have added the insert command, that's the one that I am using it. So data source 1 dot delete command. Let me delete command. I want to delete it. So delete command. So insert, you have insert command. So delete, you have the delete command. It's simple as that. So what is the delete command? Delete command is already been created by me, and I have the delete command. So what is the delete command? Delete from books where, if you want, put some space, delete from books where accession number is something. Control C it, paste it here, then that's a command. paste it here. So delete command is delete from books where you can remove some spaces, I think, or make it look like a query. Delete from books where accession number is something that I am supposed to write. So what is it? Double quotes, 2 plus sign, and drop down list 1. Oops, drop down list 1 dot. So selected, where is it? Value. So that's it. If you look at this one, selected value or selected item, it is one and the same. If you are selecting item, then you have to just convert it into text. So one simple as that. If you are instead of this, if you are selecting selected item, if you're doing it, selected item, then of with my toString. ToString is a method, then you can call it. It is one and the same. Okay, selected item, then ToString. You have to, if you are taking it item, not the value. If you, in the last time I use drop down list selected value. If it is value, keep it as it is. If it is item, convert it into string. As simple as that. So if everything is proper, you have to delete the record. That's it. The records will be deleted. If you want, you put a label and say that the record got deleted. So let me go and put one label here. Let me make it slightly beautiful. Put a label. I'm going to double click on this label. Put a label. Now this is label 2. So let's go and put the label 2. Label 2 should be there. So label 2, did I do it? Label 2, just save it. Okay, and I think label 2 dot text bit annoying with the Visual Studio, and some content here, record deleted. Okay. That's all, very simple, very straightforward. I need one button to go back to my home page. So I'll put a tab. If I'm running out of rows, just put a tab and put a button. That's all. Put a button here and change the button title. So go here, change the properties and say go to home, go to home. That's all. Go to home, go to home, double click on this button, and you have to say multi-view index. So it is same, multi-view dot active index is 0. It's simple as that. Multi-view active index is 0. Done with it. Save it. Let's give it a try and things should work. So I'll display all the record first, and I'm going to pull out Rekha's record. Go home, delete it. It should come. Oh, I think when I click on this delete, I never changed the active index, so nothing is going to happen. Let's go back to the home page here. Let me stop it. I'll go to the top here, delete. When I click on this delete, I have to go to the, so this is the, see there are this is the active index 0, active index 1, active index 2, and this is going to be the active index 3. So double click on it, and this I'm going to copy paste the this one as usual. What is it? This is the multi-view index. When you click on the delete, you have to go to, I think 3. Is it 3? Let me verify. So 0, 1, 2, 3. That's it. Okay, you are here. Just give it a try, and I think this time everything should work. So again back, I want to delete Rekha's record. Go home, delete, and I am going to select Rekha. Okay, there is one other thing that I just forgot. Now when I select Rekha, nothing is going to happen. So this is the other problem. You notice it's not changing. That is because it is this item should auto post the changes. So whatever changes you are doing it has to be sent back to the server. So that I forgot. Let me go back to my project and let me go to the home page. Let me go to this data bound here. So this is the data bound where you are selecting the item. So this is the one that I am talking about. So when I make a selection here, it must automatically post the content to the server. So how do I do that thing? It is very simple. Click on this plus sign and then select enable auto post. So this will automatically post the changes back to the server. Remember, whenever you are doing something on this one, whenever you make the changes happens only on your side. The changes is not happening on the server side. So the changes has to be automatically sent to the server. So how do I do that thing? I will just click on this one small checkbox which is available here, and that is enable auto post backs. That's it. I think there are no more mistakes. Let me save and let me run it for the last time, hopefully. And if everything is coming, so I will not delete Rekha because whenever I talk about Rekha, the things are not working fine. I will delete Ravi from the list now. So go back to this one. I will select Ravi. You notice that it's going to post back. Can you see there? So and select Rekha, it's going to post back. So it has to post back the content. So let's do it. Ravi, you are out. So delete this, and Ravi is out. Is it there? Ravi is still there. Did I deleted it? I think did I call this delete command? Oh, let me check again. I think I just created the query here. I just created the query, and by creating query, nothing is going to happen. This query is created, but I forgot to execute that query. So what you're supposed to do, SQL data source 1 dot delete command. This will execute. This is the command. So this is what has to be done. You just tell the SQL source that you have to delete it, but here you are saying it, just do it now. So this is the command being executed. So if you forget to call this delete, this is the method, remember, or if you forget to call insert in the previous one, nothing is going to happen. So this is the second line. You are saying okay, do it now. This is, you are saying this is the command insert. Okay, insert the record, delete the record, view the record, something. Okay, this is how you are supposed to, this is, you are saying how you are supposed to do it. Now the next one, what you are saying is okay, do it now. Whatever command I have given here, execute it now. The same thing I am saying, this is how you are supposed to delete it with the where condition and so on. The next thing that I am supposed to do is I am just telling the database, okay, do it now. Go ahead and execute this particular command. But I have not done that. So hopefully I am running it many times. Let's give it a try. And with this, I hope the things are going to work fine. So let's display it. You have Ravi's record. Go home and delete. Okay, let's get rid of Ravi. So I have the Ravi, delete it, and record deleted. Ravi is gone hopefully, and if you select Ravi, should be gone. Okay, Ravi's record is not there. Okay, then I should record number 3. There is no record for Ravi now. This is I need auto query now. Okay, delete this record 101. It should what I can do is I can refresh this query again. So that is because I have used, the problem here is I have used different data source. So if you notice there, for deleting I am using for this I am using a different data sources. When I do different data sources, I have to update the data source every now and then. So this is going to create a problem. Okay, how to solve this problem? That itself will create one other thing. If you delete it, SQL data source 2. Now do I have a refresh for that? Okay, refresh, requery, anything is there? I need to requery it now again. So what is the load is going to do? Because when the server is not load, I will have to refresh this again, rebind. Okay, data bind. Let me call data bind. Hopefully data bind will work. Let's try. I'm asking it to rebind the data again. Let me see whether it really works. Now what I did is I am not supposed to create too many data views here. If I create too many data sources here, it's going to create too much of a problem. Unnecessary, it will not refresh it. Okay, let's go for the delete now. And let's delete this one, and let's say delete this book. Is it going to requery it? No, it is not. 103 is not there, but it's the problem with this one is I should have used the same data source. Because of that, even if I say data bind, what is the other command that I can use to refresh this? Zoom in and let's see what else I can do. So if you have a refresh page render, some method that is going to refresh it, it's going to be a good one. Data bind. There is no new method there. Now that load is for I think when it is loaded. Rendering resolve, select resolve URL selecting. Some good commands should be there. So this is updating. You don't have a rebind also here. So let me try the other way around. So if I use the same data source, so let's go here, choose configure data source, and if I select data source 2, data source 1, cancel here, choose the data source, and if I select the data source 1, click OK, see whether it's going to work. Let me try that thing, because both the data source should be same, otherwise when you delete it on one, the other will not show up. In order for me to try this one, I'm going to add one more, but for your examination, don't worry if it is get deleted, that's the end of it. You don't have to bother about what is going on. So let's say Gayatri, and let's say C programming. Let's say title is ABC publication. Volume, you have some volume, you have saved the data. Let's go, and now let's go and let's try to delete Gayatri, and 104 is Gayatri. Delete it. I think it's doing it now. Okay, what did I do it? If you don't want to go and replay the video, what did I do is see the data source. What I did last time was, when I tried to delete, I used the data source 1. When I try to delete, I use the data source 1. So this is one data source, but if you look at the data bound here, I use the data source 2. Now what is the problem with that kind of thing is, one of the data source is changing, one connection is changing, the other one doesn't know that the things have actually changed. So in that case, what's going to happen is others will still say that those data is still there in the database, because I really don't know, I have not refreshed. So I really don't know what is going on with the database. The other connection says that such data is there. So what I have done just now is, I went here and then I said choose data source, and I have selected data source 1, the same one that I am using when I am deleting it. It's the same data source that I am using it, and this was the one which was there with me right from the beginning. So this was there right here, data source 1. When I inserted it, the same data source, I am reusing it. So there nobody is preventing you from reusing it. So here I did what did I do is I took something different. So what did I do here is, I went there and then choose data source, and then I selected data source 1. Now the thing is, on the same data source 1, deletion is occurring. So when I try to delete it, here, what is happening is it is already known to the drop down box also, the things are being deleted. Otherwise the drop down box will say that I don't know, somebody went and deleted it from the behind the scene, somebody went and deleted it. I don't know about all those things, I still have the same numbers with me. So in order to prevent that, I am using it. So you can make changes there. So that's it. Let's give it a last try. So to add, you have the records here, 105 I am going to add, and I am going to add Sudha into that, and the title is Java programming, and the author is ABC publisher, and volume is 1, and this edition is 2. Save it. I am going back. I will go to the display, and I have the display. Go back. I went to delete, and I'm going to select Sudha, and Sudha is coming. I'm going to select money, and it's going to come, and I'm going to say delete record. 101 should go there. So I delete it. 101 is gone. Okay, go back to the home page. The things are done. That's all for now. We will see the other video later.